Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MTU Esports. Today, our MTU Huskies League of Legends team is taking on Northeastern Illinois University in the Playfly League. My name is Ben,
I'm Aiden.
and before we get too far into League of Legends, we are going to dive into the schedule. So, on Friday, our Smash Ultimate team went up against Rochester Institute of Technology. Apologies, and we lost. It was kind of bad, but the MTU Huskies did redeem themselves on Saturday when they went up against the University of Wisconsin Stout. Today, of course, we have our MTU Huskies League of Legends team going up against Northeastern Illinois University.
Yeah, not to let you guys have a break in the action, tomorrow our Rocket League team will be taking on the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, followed by Wednesday's Overwatch 2 team versus the Technical College of New Jersey. And then on Thursday, you'll have your very own caster, Aiden, taking on, with our Valorant team, Butler University. So should hopefully have a pretty good game for you guys there. Still hunting for our first win, but a little bit more fair rank distribution in the server this time, so hopefully it shouldn't be too bad for you guys. On to player introductions. Your Michigan Tech League of Legends team is currently sitting at 2-1, hopefully extending that into a 3-1 lead after tonight. Of course, it's going to be the same players you guys are familiar with. In your bottom lane, it's going to be Kent Craffinator as your captain. In the mid lane, it's going to be Echo Sunless, and Griffin as Music Tabs will be your top laner once again. Of course, not to be forgotten, Brandon or Nug Tart will be roaming around with the jungle, with Erica or Cran following up as our support.
And of course, no great team is made without great opponents to go up against. For Northeastern Illinois University, they are currently sitting 1-1. Now, both of these teams both lost to the same team. So I just thought that was an interesting little fact. But for our enemies tonight, we have Julian Pluth in the jungle. We have Yithin, Some Desired, in the top lane. We have Patrick, Arch2, in mid. We have Dylan, Lat, in the bot. And Brian, Too Fat to Care, as support.
Yeah, should be a pretty interesting matchup here. You know, I've been looking at the in-game clients, and the ranks aren't actually too far distributed. I do believe that our Huskies lead by a slight amount when it comes to how the ranks are distributed across the teams, but should be a pretty even matchup other than that. So here's hoping our Huskies pull some magic out of the hat and make it a slamming 2-0, as they did last week. A very good match that we were able to witness. So
Yeah, that was pretty fantastic. I gotta say, you did some fantastic casting during that. I was behind the
thank
scenes
you.
at the desk, but yeah, incredible casting for that.
Yeah, working on not peeking the mic this time, but other than that,
Yeah.
things to work on, but things that we can be happy that we accomplished.
I mean, sometimes our Huskies are popping off, and sometimes you just get lost in the moment. Like
Yeah, that Mordekaiser 1v3,
it was
that was
crazy.
beautiful to witness. Even as somebody who doesn't know anything about the game, like I know enough that he was going crazy up there. So
Yeah,
definitely
and
striking a
our
blow in the server and to the opponent's moral. That surrender vote that came in after was a little bit telling of how bad we were stomping them.
yeah, our opponents did actually beat the team we are going up against tonight, so that could be an indicator of what's to come. Maybe Northeastern Illinois will pull some tricks out of the hat and really mess up our MTU team.
Yeah,
I guess we'll just have to see.
or we could see a Mordekaiser 1v4 this time. That would also be interesting.
I mean, hey, I always like to see MTU win. We're supposed to be impartial, but come on, Michigan Tech, let's pull through.
Yeah, let's go Huskies. So, other than while we're waiting here to get into our pick and bans, or anything else going on around on campus that you think should be notable?
Well, we all did finish up with our exam week, so I think my exams went pretty well. I don't know about you.
I think that they went about exactly how I expected them to,
Hey, I mean,
which speaks volumes to my ability of foresight and prediction. I think they went okay, and I think that a lot of people have that same agreement. But what I think that we can all agree on is that everybody is very grateful that midterms at least are wrapping up, so we get a little bit of reprieve before finals start to slam us.
yes, indeed, and the reprieve is extended for this weekend because we have that October break on Thursday and Friday, so a 4-day weekend.
Yeah, 2 extra days to rest, recharge. Hopefully, you don't have too many projects. Hopefully, our professors aren't sliding any homework anywhere where they're not supposed to be. So, looking forward to that. Make sure that you do tune in that Thursday night, even though you are on break, to catch our Valorant game and any other games we might have on Friday or Saturday. I know Smash could definitely use you guys' support. They love looking back and seeing how everybody's reacting to their plays. So.
Yes, we may be out of college, but the grind does continue for our MTU Esports Huskies.
Yes, it does. Other than midterms, other than just stuff going on that you've noticed?
Um, There was that Minecraft server for East Hall.
That is true. The East Hall Minecraft server is up and running. So if you are a member of that hall or you're friends with somebody in that hall and want to be invited to the server, just reach out to them. Takes 5 seconds. Join the Discord, whitelist yourself on the server, get on. I did hear that somebody did speedrun the Dragon Egg in about 6 hours. So
Really?
that unfortunately has been claimed, but there's certainly a lot of building that needs to go on, people working together, factions starting to pop up. There's one faction that's trying to wage war on everybody right now, although haven't really been that successful with it so far, but we'll see how if that comes to fruition this weekend. So definitely some more interesting on-campus activities there. Like I said, if you're friends with somebody in the East Hall or there yourself, make sure you reach out. We'd always love to have more players.
Yeah, maybe you'll be able to build something in style. And I mean, hey, if you're looking to spice up your style, we have places for that. University images at the SDC. Um, yeah,
Yeah, University Images, great place you want to go to get some merch. It's your location on campus. It's university owned. It's university operated. Make sure that you can support your Huskies. It's your support for things like that, and their support for us, our program that allows us to do things like give you a casting deck, let our Huskies, take on teams as a part of this esports organization. So definitely thankful to them and our other sponsors for making sure that we have things or have that money though, so that we can, do our jobs and
indubitably.
yeah, and do it in style.
So, in terms of League of Legends changes, I know that Azir was recently changed a bit. Azir being a mid lane pick, very, very notorious for being a pro play pick, where he very much excels at those highest level plays. And they did actually target some nerfs at him toward that. They removed a lot of his early lane pressure and turned up his late game scaling.
Yeah, a lot of that's like that AP ratio is worse earlier, better later. The recharge rates on some stuff is worse earlier on in the game, better later, and some of that scaling as he has been increased as he gets later into that late game. So, be interesting to see if our Huskies decide to pick him up maybe in a game today or around the corner. Just considering what kind of team style we've been going for, seems like our Huskies haven't really decided on one style of how they like to build their team. Sometimes it's early game, sometimes it's balanced, sometimes it's really heavily towards building out for the mid to late games. So interesting to see if that change will get picked on by us today.
Yeah, most of the Azir changes were done to his W, which is the ability where he puts down sand soldiers that he can use to auto attack people. They can do like AoE spread damage because they're like a spear thrust. And yeah, that was the big notable change in
Yeah.
terms of the patch notes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people are saying on Twitter about it, considering that it seems no matter what's going on in any of Riot's games, the vocal minority behind whoever's being affected by that change loves to complain about it. I know in Valorant we just had a massive overhaul for a lot of different agents, patch 11.08, and I have not seen the servers more upset about it, even though nobody's had the chance to play on it yet. So, getting you guys into the picks and bans here, looks like we've already got Northeastern Illinois banning Rengar, Darius, and Set, with Michigan Tech banning Wukong, Yone, and Zed. So, you want to mind telling me what that means?
Well, from the Northeastern Illinois side, Set and Darius are two very, very bruisery. I mean, Set's main thing is that he can do like a big true damage punch, and he gets a lot of healing regeneration. Darius is a very scary, kind of 1v5 champion, kind of a team fighting monster, you might say.
Yeah.
In terms of Michigan Tech, we do see quite a few mid lane bans with Yone and Zed. We do see the Wukong ban coming out. I'm pretty sure Wukong was recently nerfed in this latest patch. So maybe he's been a bit of a problem and he still is. The nerfs weren't enough, or maybe it's a targeted ban for someone on Northeastern Illinois. We do see both the Sivir and Aphelios picks coming out for Northeastern Illinois and MTU, respectively. Now, Sivir is a ADC, so a bot laner, with a lot of wave clear, a lot of AoE. She has that movement speed ultimate that's really good for team fights because you can give your team a lot of tempo. And then she also has a personal spell shield, so she can try and block some of those CC abilities coming out toward her, some of those picks. So a fairly safe pick from Northeastern Illinois. On our side, we do see Aphelios, who is also an ADC. He was the 200 years character on release. Because he has 5 different guns that he rotates between. And I know most of the names, so we'll see how casting that goes.
Yeah.
But then we also have the Anivia pick. Now, Anivia is a mid laner. her big, her big move is her ultimate. It is on a very low cooldown, but it summons a blizzard in a circle. So it's really good for zoning off opponents. She definitely does a lot more in the late game. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Northeastern Illinois choose some characters with like some dashes. One of her abilities does like put down a wall that can kind of block people from getting away. But hey, if you can just jump over it,
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Interesting to see what we're picking into next. Looks like
Looks
a
like we
little
had
bit
to
of
reload,
refresh.
but we do see a Azir pick on the Northeastern Illinois side. So
And
apparently they
Orin.
decided that they're interested in that late game kind of comp, and we do see the Ornn as well. Ornn is pretty notorious. He's a tank, but one of his main things is that he can buff the items of his allies and make them
Ooh,
better.
yeah. So a little bit of a late game there coming up from Northeastern Illinois. Then looks like because he'll get stronger as you get those items, and then that buffs are going to compound. And it's also going to be the Pantheon pick for Michigan Tech. Something I believe we have seen them pick before.
Yes, Pantheon is generally nowadays picked as a support. He has his W, it's a point and click stun, which I mean, if you're a character with a point and click stun, you'll have some kind of use.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's a very powerful tool to have, and he also brings a lot of burst potential into the early and mid game.
Yeah.
We do see two support bans from MTU. Apparently, they're not interested in seeing those enchanters or enchantresses with a Melio and Soraka ban. And then we do see the Mordekaiser ban
Yeah.
from Northeastern Illinois.
They
They watch the VODs.
Yeah, I was just about to say they definitely watch the VODs. They know how powerful we can be when we get going on that Mordekaiser. So good to see that it's not even been a week. We've already struck fear into the hearts of the people that are watching our games. They know what they're in for if they let us pick into that. So
And then
it's
we
Rel and
also
Civis or
Silas,
Silas.
yes.
Yes.
But we do see the Nami ban. Nami is pretty good with the Felios actually, so I'm not surprised to see this ban. He has 5 different Q abilities, but some of them are good for extending his range, which Nami gives those empowered auto attacks. So those both obviously kind of synergize together. We do see the Silas pick. Now Silas's big move is that he actually steals the other team's big moves. And I could see why with the Azir and the Ornn, they both have these giant team fight ultimates. So I could see why Silas would want to, be picked, come in here, steal their ultimate, steal their big move, and then use it on them.
Yeah, a little bit of retribution there for the characters that Northeastern Illinois picked into.
Now we do see two pretty tanky picks from with Rel and J4. Now Jarvan the Fourth is a classic pick at these higher levels of play. He's just very solid. He's got CC, he's got defense, he's got some damage. He's just a very solid all-around jungler. Rel is a CC tank support. So she has 2 different forms where when she's in her horse form, she's got movement speed, she can get on top of you, and then she comes crashing down on top of you and suits up in a giant suit of armor that gives her a shield and a bunch of defenses, and she steals your defenses.
Oh yeah, so something to watch out for Michigan Tech. It's like the last pick for them is gonna be the Braum.
Yes, Braum is a support, so he is going to be matching up with the Aphelios in the bot lane. His big thing is he's got a door that he's fashioned into a shield that he can use to deflect projectile, or sorry, to take projectiles for his allies. You can have some projectiles like a Sivir Q that normally goes through entities, but Braum's shield will just stop it. It'll hit him and then no one else.
Yeah, so being able to block that damage from reaching your teammates there. So now that we have the full, 5v5, what characters we're going to be playing, what do you think each of these comps is building into for Northeastern Illinois and Michigan Tech?
Ooh, for Northeastern Illinois, I'm definitely seeing. I mean, they definitely have some late game presence with that Azir, as we talked about earlier. He had
Yeah,
those
with the
buffs to his late game. They have that Ornn. ADCs generally, do better in like the mid-ish to mid to late game. Sivir does have quite a bit of wave clear, so especially if they end up in a situation where they're kind of on the ropes in that late game, where they're really getting pushed under turret. Her
yeah,
W is that it throws out a little bouncing auto attack that just goes between all the entities in the area, hits all the minions,
yeah,
kills them all. So she has some S-class wave clear. For Michigan Tech, I'm seeing the Silas with that Azir and Rel and Ornn ult, all great team fight ults. I'm seeing the Braum, who also has a great team fight presence. I'm seeing the Pantheon with his W, who can get like an early pick for those team fights. I'm seeing the Anivia, incredible team fight ultimate, and Aphelios is yeah, his ultimate is a giant AoE burst that can do quite a bit of damage. So I'm definitely seeing Michigan Tech going for those team fights.
Yeah, definitely focusing in onto that. The last other question I wanted to ask about what Michigan Tech is put into. How do you think our bot lane, our support are going to be faring? Because that was a really big piece of presence that we had in the last matchup, where a lot of these abilities for us to go into big team fights were opened up by us getting an early pick in the bot lane and isolating one of the players on the enemy team. So how do you think is that going to be something they're going to be able to do as easily here, or are they potentially lacking some of that like movement abilities to be able to, chase, dive under towers even when they themselves are low?
So let's see. What I'm looking at here is I'm seeing. I thought it was the Pantheon support. Now I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Pantheon top lane or jungle,
Like
and that could
Braum is
be
support.
the Braum is definitely the
Yeah.
support. Anivia is definitely mid lane. Aphelios is ADC, but I'm looking at that Pantheon Silas, and I'm pretty sure Pantheon can be played jungle, although not generally traditionally, but I'm pretty sure that's a Pantheon top Silas jungle. We will have it confirmed for us in just a moment here. But yeah, in either case, Pantheon and Silas both have some pretty good engages. They can get into that lane with Aphelios and Braum and CC the enemy. From the other team, we do see Jarvan the Fourth. He also has some great tools for ganking. So I'm kind of seeing like a mirror where we have like a jungle who actually can, because there are some junglers that are a bit worse off at getting those picks in lane,
Yeah.
and we do see that.
It appears
No,
that these picks are flipped. It looks like Michigan Tech is on the blue side instead of the red side, as it appears on the screen up here. It looks like we are picking into all of our. We are the left side on the screen instead of the right
oh,
side. Looks like the
uh,
logo wasn't swapped over there, so it is going to
apologies.
be.
It
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be a Jarvan jungle.
uh yes, the Jarvan jungle for Michigan Tech,
Yeah, and
and
then
then
a
it is
Civ ADC with a Rel
uh
support.
yes, apologies. We'll
Uh,
have it
yeah,
flipped in just a moment
yeah, Azir
here.
mid lane and then a Ornn top lane.
But we do see that is the Silas jungle and the Jarvan for our side, which does make a bit more sense. Um, well, us banning Mordekaiser, I guess
Yeah,
we just don't want to see it on the other team.
yeah. I'm wondering if we retract our earlier statement about fear into the hearts of our enemies there, but
Yeah, no, what I'm seeing here is like we locked in the Orin top pretty early on in the draft. So for our second wave of bans, we're like, okay, we're not choosing Mordekaiser. We don't want the other team to have it.
yeah, yeah, because Music Tabs is that one who was on the Mordekaiser last time, will be on the Ornn this time, so
Yeah.
obviously he doesn't need the Mordekaiser to put on a show for us, so whatever he's going to be on, it definitely will suit him well. Looks like we're going to be in game here in about probably I'd say 3 minutes, waiting for the
Yep, right around
loadouts
there.
here, and then we're gonna have spectator delay for a couple minutes. So, other than that, any last words on the picks and bans here before we just go into more general stuff on campus?
Yeah, I could see. Hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely because like they definitely banned Mordekaiser because we picked the Ornn, and then if you look at the other team side, that definitely looks like a Aphelios bottom lane, Pantheon support, Anivia uh, mid lane, like I called out originally. So they probably didn't know that the Pantheon was actually going to be their top laner. That would be why they banned Nami.
Yeah,
Apparently, the other team was really scared of us having a Enchanter support with Soraka and Melio, but maybe that wasn't the plan at all. Maybe we were always planning to go Rel.
yeah. Also, that Yone ban, pretty interesting there, considering I know Echo or Sunless has been wanting to pick up that Yone a little bit. I still remember last year at Gliak getting into the big game. What do we see up on the big screen? We see Faker Yone highlights getting played while he's learning some stuff before we jumped into the match. So that's always fun to see. Should be just about a minute 30 here for spectator delay. Then we'll get you folks right into the action. So should be once again pretty good game here today for our Michigan Tech Huskies. As you had said, the team that they are versing right now lost to the team that we beat last week, and so if that's any indicator of skill, should be a pretty still close match, like I was talking about earlier with that rank distribution. But should see the Huskies coming out on top if everybody is playing to their ranks peak potential.
I could, yeah, I definitely agree. Back on that Yone point, I and most of the community definitely have a bit of a hate relationship with the Wind twins. That would be Yasuo and Yone.
Yeah.
They both are kind of known for, especially Yone is known for just his kit is just so overloaded with things, and it's like apparently it's in a semi-balanced state. He's been fairly the same since the beginning of the game, but yeah, I'm not too sad to see him go.
Yeah, a little bit prioritizing some gameplay clarity there by getting him out of the way early.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, always a
Let's
good thing to have there. Once again here, should just be about 15 seconds for you guys, waiting for that last little bit of spectator delay before we'll get you right into the action. Once again, Michigan Tech did pick blue team, I believe this time, in that coin flip that we did at the beginning there. So we will be in the bottom left, and should be a good game. I feel like I've said that a lot, but really looking forward to it. Looking to cast in some good league.
Yeah, and I feel like we might be able to gain some insights from just like the roles of the banned champions here. We can see that MTU banned 3 top laners, 1 jungler, and a support. So it definitely seems like we're at least trying to set up our top laner to be in a good position. Whereas if you look at the other side of the map, you see Zed, Yone, mid, Melio support, and then Wukong he's jungler, top laner, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely seeing more of like they're trying to get their correct picks in the bot side, more so, or trying to have an easier time in the bot side for Northeastern Illinois, where MTU is definitely looking more top side focused.
Yeah, so in the game now, should be swapping you guys over momentarily. Spectator delay has finished, so just waiting here. People leaving their spawn.
There we
Michigan
are.
Tech traversing out. Have to look and see here if we are going to be going for a early invade. I know we did do that last week, I believe, in that first map, which did work pretty well. Let's see here. Just gearing up. Sunless in the middle here. 30 seconds till minions spawn. Just about a minute. Waiting here. Looks like no early invade, so just everybody hanging out in their different positions, waiting for those minions to come and get the show on the road.
Yes, indeed. We do see Anivia hanging out in that bot side river bush in like the mid area, and I believe that is Braum there on Too Fat to Care on Braum sitting in that bot side singular bush. Oh, we do see the
Yeah,
Rel
ooh,
coming down on the Anivia here.
little 2v1 here
Yep,
coming out from
Sunless is coming in with
Sunless.
the Azir. We do see Anivia trying to run away,
Yeah,
and MTU does not have Rel used the CC on Anivia early,
yeah,
and they
not
didn't
enough
really have
mobility to
much
fight for that.
catch after
Just
that. But it does look like Anivia will be staying, so that is going to put Anivia at a bit of a disadvantage in the mid lane there.
yeah, a little bit of HP disadvantage there, maybe giving Echo or Sunless a little bit of an easier fight. As we come into just these little bit of minions farming here. No other really early action coming out from either team, except in the bottom lane potentially. Too fat to care and Lat trading a little bit of blows with Cran and Craftinator, just wanting to get a little bit of that chip in. Nobody really wanting to overcommit to a fight right now.
Yes, indeed. We see both. We do see Braum definitely looking to get a pick somewhere in there, try and land a Q of his onto our Sivir, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. In the top lane, we do see that Pantheon did get a bit of damage onto our top lane music tabs.
Yeah, more than a little bit here actually.
Yeah,
Looks like
and it
about a
does look like he's
third.
actually going in.
Ooh, yeah,
Pantheon is
stunned.
known for his extremely dangerous level 2, and you can definitely see what's coming out here.
Yeah.
He flashes for the Knight. I don't think that's going to be enough to
Oh.
kill Ornn. He's charging up the spear and hits the spear,
Oh, the
and that is
spear.
going to be a first blood for Northeastern Illinois.
That was a great shot. Maybe just a little bit of lack of awareness on the side of music tabs there. Not really retreating in time. He knew that he was at that health disadvantage right away when that Pantheon got that first little bit of chip in, but he didn't really seem to leave until he was brought down to almost half HP, at which point he just got stunned up for a couple of seconds and wasn't able to fully retreat away from his tower there. So a little bit of fight also going on here in the bottom lane. A little bit of MTU had a little bit of that health disadvantage on both Craftinator and Cran here. Potentially looking to fire back a little bit, considering that we did just lose that first feat. So our
We haven't, because for the feats, you need to get 2 out of 3. There is taking first tower, getting 3 kills, and taking 3 objectives. Those being the the epic jungle monsters in
yeah,
the river. So no feats have been claimed yet, thankfully. We do see Ornn going in on Pantheon.
Ooh, yeah.
Uh,
Knocked up a little bit there. Half HP on Some Desired here. Doesn't really get a lot of damage off that ability, so a little bit of poke and prod. I would like to see... Yeah, so it looks like our jungle is currently occupying the bottom lane, so not going to be able to come up and assist on the side of Music Tabs there. Still with that health advantage, though. Some Desire just playing a little bit closer to his tower than he typically would be, just making sure that if he does come in with too much damage there, he can just retreat, not let Music Tabs dive him, get that kill. We do have the level advantage, though, so if there was to be a mistake from the top laner on the side of Illinois there, we could potentially punish that, but nothing to be to come of fruition yet.
But yeah, for that first kill, I really feel like I'm sorry, we're actually getting a bit of a fight here. We do see that Braum has blocked that Sivir Q from continuing on into hitting Aphelios. MG is going to back off, but they're looking a little injured in that bot side.
Yeah, Kran and Krafnader are both at just over half HP here. If a dive did come in with Lat, from Lat and too fat to care, could be potentially hard for us to back off. Ooh, a good knock up on Music Tab.
Ornn is going on Pantheon, but Silas is right there. Jarvan is coming in close behind, but Music Tab is getting a little bit too overconfident.
That
and
gank.
Getting caught by the Silas there before J4 is able to arrive.
I don't love that. I don't know if that was a lack of vision or just overstaying his welcome in spite of the danger that he knew that he was facing, but it didn't really seem like he was prepared for the 2v1 there. Overstanding a little bit from the tower there at half HP, maybe wanting to follow up on some of the damage he had done to the enemy top laner, but I don't love that. That's the second blunder he's made.
Yeah, what likely happened there is that our Ornn Music Tab saw that his J4 was in the topside jungle. He was feeling a little bit confident, didn't realize that Silas was a lot closer than his jungler was.
Yeah.
And I feel like Music Tabs isn't respecting Pantheon's superior early game potential, and that's really coming to bite him as we see that we are currently 0-2. Northeastern Illinois University is 1 kill away from securing the first objective for feats. And we do see that Rella is getting very low here. We did see the Guardian pop. Rella is going to flash after throwing out her Q. Aphelios is not going to chase, and Rella is going to make it away. So Northeastern Illinois, NIU, is not going to claim the feats just yet. But we do see them approaching on that tower.
Yeah,
they may try to go for Rel, but no, it does not look like they are going to do that. They are just making sure to clear and try and push another tower. We do see the J4 is coming in on the bot side here.
Yep,
knocks up the Aphelios. We do see Rel coming in. Rel does not hit her CC. Rel hits the Q. And they are probably not going to catch this Aphelios. They're looking like they're in a really bad position. This Braum is very low, though. He flashes away before. He's dying, and oh my god, MCU. And that's going to be 2 kills for Aphelios as they claim the feats of warfare.
And Michigan Tech limping away here as the 3v1 comes in the bottom lane. Too bad to Kara and Lat, both on a sliver of HP, but both having the confidence to chase under that tower.
Nugtart needs to flash to get away. That was almost a triple kill.
I'm a little bit concerned about what happened for MTU there. We had the 3v2. What do you think went wrong with that fight there? Because it seemed like we were at the health disadvantage, then we just got instantly deleted.
That Aphelios had his Infernum, which is his AoE flamethrower gun. That does a lot of damage, and especially when they're all grouped up like that, he was really dishing out the damage.
Yeah, so Michigan Tech just potentially not paying enough heed to the positioning. They're thinking that they have the space to group up, or even just not, realizing it in the moment, but they are going to be punished for that mistake. So that is not great coming out from Michigan Tech at the start here. Would have loved to see either a little bit quicker, cleaner fight there, us getting a couple of those kills or backing off once we realized we weren't going to be able to, take them down within that first little show of presence that we had.
So Michigan Tech getting a little bit overconfident, but their team comp is built a bit more toward the late game. So I'm a bit hesitant to call it as over. Michigan Tech isn't. This is going to be their weakest stage of the game, most likely, is right now. But hopefully, as the game progresses, we'll see them get some experience, get some gold, get some items, and be able to claw their way back into this.
Yeah, get those levels on. We literally just talked about how Avir is, been changed to, fight towards more of that end game, get powerful more in that end game. And
we do see Silas going on the Ornn up here. He does still Ornn ult, but is going to back away. Apparently, that's all he wanted. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Silas head down toward mid lane now and try to get a kill with that Ornn ult onto our Azir. So hopefully Sunless is watching out for that.
Yeah, hopefully that's being calmed. Yeah, we do see him rotating down there. He's about to be on him. It's going to be a 2v1 in the mid lane. Or not, as Silas is going to back up into the jungle for
go
Illinois.
And clear his Raptors.
Potentially thinking that Nug is a little bit too close there to make it a clean 2v1. A little bit of damage here in the bot lane onto the Michigan Tech. And this is going to be Some Desired coming in here. trying to, it's going to be a good knock-up, and this is Nug actually coming out for...
We have a reverse of the previous
that's the
situation. They are able to CC Pantheon before he's able to ult away, and that is a
shutting down Pantheon.
very clean kill for MTU. It was like a reverse of that first kill, where our jungle was a lot closer than theirs. We do see Silas coming in, getting a bit of damage on Nug. He is going to miss the EQ for our J4, but I believe that's going to be the end of that fight in the top side.
Yeah, that I like that out of MTU there. That was clean. Our music tabs didn't lose very much HP at all, so the jungle from Illinois didn't feel like he could do anything. You know, no follow-up to come from that. A little bit of damage onto Nug, but feeling confident enough in that top lane for us to immediately rotate down to help our jungle. So I like that out of MTU there. A good use of their ultimates to just make sure that we're able to, you know, keep things clean. A little bit of fight going on in the bottom lane here. Craftnator going to be brought down to half HP, as well as Kran going to be taken down by, or not taken down, but a lot of damage onto Lat. And oh, this is going to be Kran in a 2v1, but Sunless coming down from the top lane. This is our mid laner coming down to make it a 3v2.
We do see that incredible Azir ult coming out. Azir is going to grab that kill on Aphelios. It's now Azir versus Braum, and he is looking in much better shape than this Braum is. He does have his... He is able to throw his minions in, but that's not going to be enough. Braum might be able to get away.
The tower. Oh, but I don't even know what that ability is called. I just know that it looked good and it got us the kill.
Yes, he hit that auto, and because he had fully stacked his lethal tempo, his rune, he did get a little bit of extra on-hit damage. That did secure him the kill. That was incredible.
Yeah, Michigan Tech 3 kills for the last 2 from Illinois here, so bringing the tempo of the game a little bit back in our favor. Still at a disadvantage here, but we still, you know, are down by a little bit more than 1k gold, but they stopped the bleeding and just turned it into a scrape.
I mean, just Silas is going for the dragon here, but he is going to back off as J4 and Silas arrive. Silas.
Chase from
Apologies.
Nug.
J4 and Sivir arrive, and MTU now has 3 people. Both are bottom lane jungle, support, and mid lane on this dragon. It is not, and we are going to take that dragon quite cleanly.
Yeah, it's going to be Cloud Drake buff for us now. Remind me what that does again?
Cloud Drake is going to give a movement speed buff to our team passively. So
always good to have.
MTU, you know, thanks for leashing us a dragon. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, very very appreciative of that. You know, we'll take every advantage that we can get here. So, once again, Illinois with a little bit of that lead still, but Michigan Tech trying to fight back a little bit more. So, looks like in the bottom lane here, just a little bit of poking and prodding. Not really anything interesting going on in the minimap right now.
Yes, we do see that NIU was able to grab the 3 Void Grubs while we weren't watching. So the objective count is now 1-1, us taking a dragon. And we do see Rel getting caught by the Aphelios Q on his Gravitum gun, which is able to root. But not much else is going to come out of that, although our support did need to use their W, which has a fairly long cooldown. We do see Jarvan is in the area, but it was caught by a ward, and he is clearing that out, so NIU knows to back out.
Yeah, not wanting to go for that overcommitment on the aggression there. So still a little bit worried for Michigan Tech in this bot lane. Both of them aren't really healthy enough to full commit to a fight unless they got some, you know, surprise damage on a member of Illinois down here.
We did see that Silas lurking a bit, heading toward topside, but it looks like he backed off. He decided he didn't want to go and take that fight.
Yeah, it does look like our jungle is coming up on the top here. It looks like the jungle from Illinois is also going to be rotating in, but potentially wanting to go for... Oh,
we do see the music tags coming out.
Isolating him. It's going to be Nug now coming in along with the jungle for Illinois. It's going to be a flash away from Summer Side, but a flash from Nug is going to stun him, knock him up, and coming out. Sliver of HP,
we see a second Jarvan out coming out from Silas. We've seen 2 Jarvan ults in this fight, and it looks like Silas is going to get away, but we did get a kill onto Pantheon, and we do see an engagement here on the bot side. They are going to get hit onto Rel.
Yeah, that was a good response from Illinois there in that bottom lane. Although the Sunless actually trying to respond in turn onto the mid laner for Illinois, but it's not going to be a good follow-up there. So Illinois playing a little bit close to these bot lane towers as Craftnators, just, you know, walking back and forth, trying not to take too much damage. But we weren't able to watch a lot of that fight in the mid lane, so it's unknown if that was a good catch.
We do see Craftnator getting dove under tower. He is able to dodge the Aphelios ult, so that could be the deciding factor. We do see that the Braum ult comes out, and Aphelios is able to secure the kill there.
That is a good response again from Illinois. Craftnator unable to back up in time.
Oh, the TP from Sunless. The TP from our mid laner coming in. He's coming for that Braum. He is able to grab the kill on the Braum, and we do see that Rel was able to pick up the kill on the Aphelios.
Oh, that is a great response again. I feel like I've used that phrase 4 times in the last minute, but that's what it has been. It's just one person plays a card, another person follows up on it.
The NIU bot lane got... They got the kill onto Sivir, yes, but then they got a little bit too overconfident, like
Wanting
I
that
said.
tower
So
damage.
they wanted that tower damage, and they got caught out for it hard.
Yeah, I want to praise Sunless a lot there for that TP. That was just perfect. Watch that flash across my screen, and just also good communication from Michigan Tech there to let their teammate in that mid lane
Yeah, and
know.
if we could pull up the scoreboard real quick, we will see that Sunless is actually 3-0 on Azir. He somehow snuck that in here. So he adds up to about 50% of our kills. So we do see that Sunless is kind of getting ready to really do some stuff late game, really set up. But we just see he's coming out on the Anivia right now. Does land the ult, knocking him into
Yeah,
Jarvan.
half HP
But our
there.
camera is going to pull us away. And we do see that Anivia's passive is going to be procced, where she has another chance to get away with reduced armor and magic resist. But it's not going to be enough.
That's going to be a kill from Sunless.
And we do see Nugtart letting our Sunless get the kill, further escalating his snowball.
Yeah, explain to me why it's important that he gets those kills instead of the other guy. How does that help him snowball, like you said?
Now, Jarvan is a character he can be very, very consistent on a very small amount of gold. Where when we have Azir already with 3 kills, if we give him a 4th kill, you get a lot more gold for getting the kill than you do for just assisting with it. So Jarvan allowing our Azir to really scale up hard, because remember, those changes recently were buffing up his late game. So hopefully we'll see Azir really come into his own, especially in the late game. We can see that he's already doing so much right now.
Yeah,
But it only gets better.
First turret for Michigan Tech there. So is that a feat?
Yes, first turret is a feat.
So now it just comes down to whoever gets 3 objectives?
Yes.
Has somebody gotten those already?
We do see that we have picked up first tower. Oh, we do see that Affiliates picked up the kill on Rel in the mid lane. That is
I apologize for not talking about that while that was happening to you guys at home, but a little bit of a little bit concerned for how Karen has been playing so far. However, it's hard to put the finger on the pulse, I'd say, whether or not is it overextensions from her, or is this just really good ISO from Illinois here. Top lane here,
Indeed.
a bit of a fight with Michigan from music tabs and some desired here. That is
looks like they were going pretty even in the top side. We do see that is Azir at 2 items. Can we pull up the scoreboard again? Azir has picked up his Rylai's and his Nashor's Tooth. Rylai's being an item that grants him a slow when dealing damage with his abilities, which includes his soldier auto attacks. So that is going to be
helpful.
Very potent for him.
That's going to be a Hextech trait, though, for the side of Illinois, as well as a turret going down for the side of Michigan Tech. So 1-to-1 on turrets now. Looks like we'll be getting Ocean Soul for the final dragons from here on out.
They were able to claim a dragon, but we did claim Rift Herald. So now we're down to the last objective is going to decide who gets empowered boots. Yes. Now, this doesn't win you the game, but if you gain the empowered boots, it definitely says, hey, we're looking really good for this match.
Yeah, being able to have stuff like that extra movement speed, whatever other passive buffs they can provide. A little bit of poke damage going on here in that mid lane. That is going to be, is this?
That was Sivir's wave clear you just saw with all those ricocheting boomerang.
Yeah, but has our
the minions.
Mid lane and bot lane swapped?
It does appear that they have swapped. So, yeah, what you're going to be looking at here around like the 15 to 20 minute mark, you'll generally see that if the bottom lane needs to be pushed out, the mid lane is going to go down there, because at this point the Sivir should be at a point where she is able to really start doing some stuff, especially with like taking objectives.
Yeah.
The bottom laner is generally a lot more potent for that than the mid laner. Although in this case, Azir also has some really good sustained damage, so that may not be exactly the same. But yeah, it's not uncommon to see the bottom side of the map move into the mid lane as we reach that mid game point.
Yeah, good to know there. Looks like there were 2 channels from the side of Illinois. So this is 4 members of Michigan Tech now grouped up around this mid lane jungle side.
Yeah, we see that MTU has a very strong presence around that dragon area. We just see the Pantheon come down into 4 of them. But he was not prepared.
Yeah, he wishes he could turn back the clock on that one. Just a little bit more information would have been desired there on the side of that Pantheon. Just deciding that, Michigan Tech, I think you guys don't have enough kills right now. Let me just donate a free one over to you guys. As well as the ult usage, I am questioning that move.
That was a crazy misplay.
Yeah, and is this the Rift Herald here too, also taking that first mid lane turret? Potentially Michigan Tech trying to force up into that second one.
They're not going to get the second turret, but they did get about half health on it. We do see Silas is he's stealing the Rel ult. pulls enemy characters into you for a while.
Oh,
We may see a pop right there, stopping them from getting away.
yeah, it's
And
gonna be
with
so
the
low.
Anivia ult coming down, everything it's going to be a
Oh,
crazy
crazy
team
ult
fight.
from was that Kran's ult?
We did see quite a few ults come down from both sides, but at the end of the day, it definitely looked like NIU won that fight.
Oh,
And
and
we do see them picking
Craftinator
up
also gonna be
another kill on
caught
the
out.
Craftinator, slowing him down with the Anivia ult.
And now it's just the Ornn and Sunless left alive here.
And I was going to say that MTU has actually had a gold lead for the first time since the very beginning of the game, but now it looks like they're going about even in gold.
Yeah, that was a good fight back there from the side of Illinois. Michigan Tech sticking around a little bit too long, I think. Wanting to push, maybe even get that tier 2 turret in the mid lane there down for Illinois, but the Illinois just relentless with the pressure they used to push Michigan Tech off, and even the safety of that turret wasn't enough.
Yeah, and pretty much the exact moment I was going to start saying how, wow, NIU is kind of throwing this game. They come out swinging in the mid lane, getting a crazy number of kills.
Yeah, that was a good response from the side of Illinois there. So a little bit of a reset for both teams here. Nobody grouping up to take any team fights. Just
So hopefully that makes MTU kind of reconsider how they want to approach this dragon fight when it comes up, because they're going to need that if they want the boots.
yeah, that's going to be Dragon's always a sought after objective, but more so now that it's going to decide both which team is closer to taking that Ocean Soul and also which team is going to be getting that boot buff. So potentially a gank coming up in the top lane here for Michigan Tech. Nug and Music Tabs both going in on some desired here. It's going to be brought down to about half HP. Jungle nowhere in sight for the side of Illinois, and he's just going to limp away, unable to do anything there. Kind of a deer caught in the headlights, just unable to move, unable to run, not really knowing where he wants to go to. And this is going to be Kran jumping in, hitting the good stun onto the side of what is that? Illinois here. Who's trying to fight
we
back,
do
but
see
the
that
ult from
Scylla stole the Azir ult, but Azir is able to dash back in on Silas and secure that kill. We do see that Craftinator is following up with some poke onto this Braum, but it's not going to do too much at this point. Does knock him away with the blast kill. We just see the Rel Q come onto Aphelios, but not too much damage is going to follow up on that.
Yeah, that is a good. What was that ult with like the spear army?
That would be Azir's ult. Now, the funny thing is, not only our Azir can use it, the enemy Silas can also steal it and use it on us, like we saw in that fight.
It wasn't enough, though. We were still able to chase. Let's see. Thornbound Attican here, taken for the blue team. Does that count towards the objectives?
I do. Yes, that does count towards objectives. Apologies.
So have we gotten boot buff
we
then?
did get boots, and we're also going to grab this dragon just in case.
Yeah, that is a good. This, I think, is off the back of that good fight up there in that top lane. We were able to take down, I forget exactly which member that was, but the side of Illinois not really feeling like they have the confidence to go out and fight Michigan Tech for these objectives when they're down that extra player. So good prioritization there. I like Michigan Tech, whether it was intentional or not, holding off on taking one of those massive fights until right before those objectives spawn in, come into something that we can focus our attention towards, making sure that Illinois either has to give up a lot of control, given the fact that we are looking for a fight with them, or take the fight where their only option is to win. Otherwise, you're going to have exactly what just happened come into play, where they are unable to do anything about those objectives. Michigan Tech going to be getting both those objectives. So that is a good recovery there from Michigan Tech, as you had been talking about with that, Illinois running away a little bit with that early game. But as we get, later into this mid game, people like champions like Avir, going to be coming back online here, scaling up into their true power. And I would be worried if I was Illinois here, considering that Michigan Tech now has both of the dragon buffs, they have boot buffs, and their team comp is, more for scaling towards that mid lane. Like I said, I would be a little bit worried because we're not far enough ahead in that early mid game to be able to secure your victory.
And we do, okay, yeah, it looks like there's going to be no pick at that bot side. But in that fight with Pantheon versus our J4 and Ornn, you just saw how he was doing kind of zero damage to our side. And Pantheon really does, if he doesn't get ahead in that early game, he does struggle come mid game. What he really needs to be doing is looking to grab some picks with his ultimate and his W, try and work together with his team, but we haven't seen too much of that.
Yeah, the level disparity here also, Sunless at level 15, whereas Air 2, now up to level 14, was at level 13, though, as I started this sentence. So, as well as in that top lane there, Music Tabs at level 14, as well as, who is that top laner for Illinois?
That is going to be Pantheon.
Yeah, Pantheon at level 12, like you had just been talking about. So, Michigan Tech with that advantage on the levels as well. coming out there in their individual lane-on-lane matchups.
Yep, and if you do look at the levels, you will notice that the bot and support will generally be at a lower level than our other lanes. This is because they are sharing experience between each other for those minions, whereas someone like Ornn in the top lane is able to just get all the experience for himself. J4 is also on equal level with them, as is the other jungler, because they often get a little bit less experience from farming the jungle.
Yeah, so interesting stuff here. Not any massive team fights, although we do have a 3-on-3 group up in mid here. It looks like just the standard mid laner for Illinois, making some presence around that bottom. So returning to the comp that we saw before we summoned the Rift Herald there, where the mid laners are now in the bottom lane, and vice versa with the bottom laners playing in that mid lane.
But yeah, so we do see that the Ocean Soul for this game is going to be, the Dragon Soul for this game is going to be Ocean, which if you are able to secure it, if you're able to get 4 dragons, then you will gain the Ocean Soul buff. Now, what it does is when you attack entities such as Sivir attacking the minions here or attack enemy champions, you will recover health and mana. Now, Sivir in particular is a very, very mana hungry character. She loves to spam her abilities. So getting that Ocean Soul is going to be huge for the side of MTU.
Yeah, something we'll definitely be looking towards prioritizing. And at the current rate, it's going to be a little bit hard for Illinois to fight back against that if Michigan Tech decides to hard prioritize those dragons, potentially even, letting Illinois get some extra chip damage on things like their towers and stuff like that, if they think that the dragon buff would be important enough. A little bit of a...
Yeah, we do see J4 is pushed up a little bit too far, got a little punished for it, as did Craftinator, but
Yeah,
so far not too much of that. We do see that Sunless gets an incredible amount of damage on Silas. Silas getting a little too big for his britches, but...
Yeah, Sunless going ahead a little bit ahead of himself there. W King forwards not really able to get any of that chip damage he meant to, except with a little bit onto himself. So not going to be grouping back up with the support.
Yeah, that Silas really needs to respect Azir's damage. He is far too ahead for him to try to be pulling stuff like that.
Yeah, so let's see. Baron going to be spawning in here. So Michigan Tech and Illinois both going to be potentially trying to prioritize this Baron buff. Michigan Tech maybe wanting this Baron buff so they can whittle down and take that tier 2 turret in the mid lane if it hasn't been taken already.
Yep. We do see that Ornn might be caught out a bit by the Braum here. We do see Braum is throwing his Q at Ornn. You can see how Ornn had a few stacks on him. When that fills up, either by Braum's allies attacking him, then he will be stunned.
Yeah, good stun there too for Michigan Tech. Pluth going to back up a little bit here. This is all 5 members of Illinois grouped up, and all of Michigan Tech also rotating in here. So this could be a massive team fight here. Dragon's going to be spawning in, but it's not going to matter.
We do see Silas coming in with the Rel ult, but he's going to be quickly dropped by the Azir. We do see an incredible amount of ultimates being dropped in this fight, but what's readily apparent is that MTU is crushing.
Yeah, Michigan Tech, I don't even know if they need the ults for that. They're Resurrect going to be coming out on the side of Illinois, but immediately going to be shut down, and this is going to be us moving on to the Baron here. This is just Illinois, I think maybe a last-ditch attempt to try and regain some of the control of that game. You saw how I believe that was 4 members of them trying to join up on that lone member of Michigan Tech about a minute ago, but all of Michigan Tech playing in such a close proximity.
And Azir is going to pick up the last kill onto Pantheon. That is going to be an ace.
Oh, that is huge for Michigan Tech. This is just a massive comeback from how the beginning of the game was going. That's going to be the Baron obtained there for Michigan Tech. So going to have that Baron buff on the minions. There's going to be tier 3 turret in that mid lane falling for the side of Illinois. So now just those tier 2 turrets and tier 3 turrets in the top and bottom lanes.
Yep, sitting around a 6k gold lead favoring MTU. That is exactly what we want to see. We see Jarvan is already on that dragon, going for that 3rd dragon for MTU. That won't be Soul, but it is an important step along the path. We do see Azir is able to pick up that blue buff from Silas's jungle right in front of him. Kind of disrespectful, but not in like an actually disrespectful way, more in like a I don't care that you're here, I'm going to take it anyway.
Yeah, I'm owning you in this game right now, and this is too fat to care that
oh my god, they're just going in on Braum. Braum's about to drop, but he is able to get away by dashing to his ally, but holy, the Azir damage coming out.
Do not leave your spawn, buddy. Michigan Tech is too scary right now. This is 3 members of Illinois grouping up in the bottom lane here, potentially wanting to protect that Braum, make sure they can get a safe channel back to base. Good damage on the top lane tower here, though, too, from Michigan Tech. This is Some Desire trying to fight him off, that Pantheon, but not really able to do anything when you were trailing by 3 levels compared to your top lane opponent.
Yeah, MTU trying to siege down both the tier 2 top and bottom turrets. We do see Ornn is about to enter a 1v2 in the top side. We do see Pantheon Wing in on.
Oh,
We
yeah,
see
that's a good
Silas
knock up
Eing in
there.
onto the Ornn, and we've been stolen bot side because Azir is getting an incredible ult, pushing them back into his
How is
team.
Music Tab's
But
not dead?
Ornn is still alive.
He's
He is
still
not dead
alive.
yet. He is flashing. He was not able to
Finally.
get the second part of his ult down to get the
Taken
knockup.
down,
He is
but-
taken down.
It felt like Illinois had to invest everything and then some in that top lane to kill just one member of Michigan Tech there. Craftinator also going to be slaying Too Fat to Care in that top lane. I don't know if that was that the ult, like a post-mortem death coming from the ult that he popped off? I couldn't tell if that was the Silas or actually himself popping off that ult in that top lane, but...
All I know is that that was an incredible amount of things happening in 2 different places on the map at the same time. It does not look like it ended well in the bot side for MTU or in the top side.
Yeah, currently just that civ up for the side of Michigan Tech.
MTU was 6k gold up, but now they're looking like they're only around like 4.5 gold. We do see Simmer picking up 2 kills in the mid lane.
Yeah, what the-
Silas and Pantheon were just pushing into Craftinator.
Blink and you miss it. Like, I don't know what that was from the side of Illinois. It's feeding season, I guess, because let's just run at them and not use our abilities. I don't know what that was. Props to Craftinator, I guess, for picking that up. Gonna immediately fire back saying, I know you killed 4 of my teammates, but I know how bad you guys really are.
Wow, okay. It is 20-17, 30 minutes in. MTU is at a 5k-ish gold lead. We just said Craftinator was able to pick up the tier 2 turret in the top side. MTU has a very strong presence in the top side. We're stunning the Braum.
Yeah, Cran diving in there.
Rel's crashing in. We do see them going hard in on this Braum. That is going to be a kill onto the Braum. And Stunless is able to pick up a kill on the Aphelios.
And Too Fat to Care. Oh, he's going to be caught there. Namesake there, unable to waddle away. Just, this is Illinois kind of crumbling a little bit under the pressure from Michigan Tech. Kind of, I think everybody, a mantra that I've repeated throughout the last couple of weeks that we've cast, everybody feeling like they have to go for these hero plays when it comes down to being at a disadvantage on your team. But they're not doing it together. They're just taking a 1v3 and then another 1v3. It's not smart plays, especially when you're at a disadvantage there on the side of levels.
MTU is taking mid lane inhibitor. MTU is going for bot lane tower, but they get a kill on the Silas just because you did see Craftinator use his spell shield on the Silas engaged, so this was able to escape that.
I think this might be game here.
This is very
3 people on respawn
this is
timers.
looking
2
like
going to be coming up here for the side of Illinois, but 35 seconds still on Pluth here. And this
Craftinator is going to get walled off by the
shut down by
Anivia.
Pantheon.
That is going to be the wave disappearing right beside Craftinator. He's like, what's going on? Oh god, I need to get away. But it's too late.
A very rare instance of a team going for a Nexus invade there and not actually being able to get it.
They did not have the minions. We do see them stealing the Raptor camp from Silas's kind of a participation award, I suppose.
Yeah, you get your ribbon. Illinois, you guys get to keep your life. Or keep their life for a moment longer, I should say. Because it feels like if Michigan Tech wins the next massive team fight, or let's say, my assumption is that it's going to come over the next dragon that spawns in. We're going to have a fight over that. Michigan Tech wins it. They're going to secure Soul. It's just going to be steamrolling Illinois.
Yep, we do see Braum getting some vision at the dragon pit. But MTU has a pretty commanding, is that a 7.5k gold lead? 4.5?
I believe that is a...
No, 7.5.
Yeah.
Ish. 7.5-ish.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a
good
lot,
for us.
guys.
Math is hard. We're here to cast.
Sorry.
So.
I've been doing math all day. Go to engineering school. I don't want to do it for casting too.
Yeah, brain gets fried at some point. So.
But we do see MTU setting up for this Ocean Dragon that is going to be Ocean Soul if they're able to take it. We do see that MTU has taken 9 turrets while NIU has taken... 1, but we do see the Ornn ult coming down, hitting both Aphelios and Pantheon.
Deflect?
Oh, we see the Azir ult, an incredible Azir ult throwing 2 members of NIU into their team, and wow.
This is just Michigan Tech just saying...
MTU dropping an incredible number of ults. You can see on the left side, that was every ult they had, and they took them down.
Yeah, it's going to be an ace here.
I think one of the most damning things for NIU was, I mean, they're missing Pantheon does not have a very good team fighting ultimate. So where MTU is coming in swinging with all of these incredible team fighting ultimates, NIU does not have the pressure to match.
That's going to be a victory for our Michigan Tech Huskies. 1-0 now in the match for today. Hopefully going to be able to follow that up for a 2-0. Was kind of like you said, a little bit earlier than I thought that team fight would be coming in. Dragon hadn't, I don't believe, had spawned in yet. They were just setting up for it. But Illinois, I guess, feeling like they had to do something to try and, take some of that presence when it comes to, maybe get somebody's ISO, get a pick on them. But Michigan Tech doing a good job staying all grouped up there. It comes to that team fight time, and everybody is just, falling like flies on the side of Illinois because they do not have that levels. They do not have the age or the champions to be able to take those, big team fight abilities. So
Yeah,
great match for our Huskies there.
MTU kind of scaring me a bit in the early game. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I know I said that their early game was gonna be rough and their late game was gonna be spectacular, but they were scaring me a bit because it was like, oh, we're 0-3, guys. What are we doing?
Yeah, we've let them get that first feat, I believe, and then just a little bit of that falling behind. But as you had said, just having a team composition that builds towards that later game. Really, you saw it in the end there where we just steamrolled those last couple of fights. Could have ended this game even earlier if we had managed to take Nexus just a little bit quicker,
but we did run out of minions in that case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like MTU just realizing, guys, we can't just like brainless like play the video game. Oh god, oh boy. We actually have to try. Like this is the team you can just like, autopilot on.
Yeah. Yeah, like we had said, that a bit more even on the ranks there. Michigan Tech a little bit higher above, but not really, kind of feel like we had those first couple minutes go by, and then Kent's probably like, okay, guys, let's stop trolling. Let's, get our ducks in a row and do a little bit of League of Legends here. And League of Legends they did, because that was a very dominant second half of the match from our Huskies here. So pretty good overall. Who do you think was the MVP of this match?
Oh, the MVP. Sunless. Like it has to be Sunless.
That's what I was thinking too, because we got towards the end of the game and just it didn't really matter who. Everybody was picking up kills left and right. Doesn't matter top, bottom, mid lane, support, jungle, whatever. But in that transition period from when we went to losing towards getting our feet back on the ground and then starting to take the first few steps towards matching the aggression that Illinois was showing up, it was Sunless with that Avir pick in that mid lane. I believe you had said we pulled him up when he was like 3-0, and then he goes up to 4-0, and he's kind of just that rallying point for Michigan Tech to be able to go around, oh, our top laner made a mistake. It's okay because it's been traded out in the mid lane. Get us back on our feet, like I had said, and, start that path of dominance that we saw in that latter half of the game.
Yeah, and you can really see that like Riot nerfed Azir's early game, and Azir was still performing spectacularly. 3-0 in the first, was it 10 minutes of the game?
Yeah.
Half of MTU's kills, just showing that like maybe he kind of did need the nerfs early, but now he's got the buffs late, so it's not looking good for anyone versing Azir.
Yeah, not enough proactiveness on the side of Illinois. We see that they're up like 3 kills, and it's like, oh no, that's bad for Michigan Tech. But in the grand scheme of things, it's ultimately not even enough when it comes to just, that's the danger of building your comp or more around this early game than your opponents is, because when it comes to a comp that scales towards the late game, if you're behind, you can be like, okay, guys, we're mid. It's half of the game's been played so far. We're falling behind. It doesn't really matter. But if build that comp towards that early game, you get towards the 15-minute mark, and you aren't really that far ahead. That's when you kind of start to get that feeling of dreading your stomach, because it's only going to get easier for enemies from this point on out.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a mental difference when it comes to like your team comp and how you're really feeling around that mid game.
Yeah.
For MTU, I'd like to see Mordekaiser.
I would like to see Mordekaiser. I'd like to see a Craftinator or a Music Tabs 1v5. That's what I want on my bingo card right now, is I want to see that come into play, because that was, we glaze it a lot considering what happened last week, but we're glazing it for a good reason.
Yeah, I think 1v5, maybe a little bit. If he really becomes raid boss, he's sieging down top tier 3 tower. All of NIU is going to show up to stop him. MTU decides they're not going to do anything about it. Maybe they're taking Dragon. Maybe they're taking Baron.
Yeah.
Maybe the 1v5 comes out, but I don't see that situation coming up. But maybe I'll be wrong.
It's a 1 in a million, but if he does it, as you had said, turn from distraction into savior, if we are going for another objective, that would be a sight to behold.
Yeah.
So Going to be a little bit here for you guys before we get into the next round of pick and bans for the side of Michigan Tech and Illinois. Hopefully should have those logos on the correct side of the screen this time. Are we now red team because we were blue team last time?
I am unsure if they switch. What I do know is that I'm pretty sure I've just got a yes that we are on the
Yep.
same side. We are on the same side. So what I do know is that this is fearless. Now, what that means, any character they picked in this game cannot be picked in the next game. Or rather, any character they picked in the last game cannot be picked in the next game. So, Mordekaiser's on the table. J4 is not.
Yeah, neither is a Veer, so we're going to have to see Sunless coming out with a different type of carry in that lane. And so when it comes to Fearless Draft, does that also include characters that your opponents played?
Yes, your opponents also cannot choose the same characters. I'm a big fan of Fearless because it's like sometimes when you're watching like, top level League of Legends, it's like, oh wow, they chose Jarvan again. Isn't that incredible? They chose Renekton again.
We have
But
an
with
Ari mid lane for the 6th match in a row.
with Fearless Draft, it's like you really need a broader champ pool. You get a bigger selection, so it makes things more fun, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to hope that they honestly bring that over to Valorant at some point because, there aren't that many agents in Valorant, but we're getting to the point where there's a lot of them, and it can get stale sometimes, especially if there are any Valorant
Oh
players here who
wow,
know about
Cypher.
the Ascent meta. You play the same 5 agents, and both teams do the exact same thing, and it doesn't matter which 2 teams are actually playing each other in pro play because it's going to be the same match on that map in particular with that roster. So certainly a good feature, certainly something that I at least have enjoyed as my first exposure to League of Legends through here, because it means that there's a lot more agents, or champions to see when it comes to just one casting session. So definitely a positive there. So looks like they are in that lobby for
Although
the
hopefully we will see the
picks and bans
character
here,
picks
yeah.
and bans coming up soon. It doesn't look like they've started it yet as I look at production's screen off to stage left. But I mean, hey, it's coming up. I'm excited for it. I hope you're excited for it.
I am.
And what I do know is that Valorant, I really like the map Bind, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bind is a peculiar map because if you are a Valorant player, Bind has no mid, and so it plays very differently than other maps. It doesn't really rely as much, like since there's no mid, you can't have like mid presence, you can't really do these massive split side executes where you're coming in from like a middle area of the map. It relies a lot more on like one very heavy execute, and if you mess up your execute, you don't get the round, and if you do your execute really well, then it's very hard for defenders to retake because instead of, use some utility to buy space on this part of the map, it's let's dump everything at the choke point. If we get onto site, that's great. So it can be a fun map to witness because when it comes time to the site executes, that's where, do you know that one Kadril clip from where he's watching Valorant and he's just, Kadril is a very famous League player and he's, or League streamer, and he's casting over what's happening in Valorant. He just pauses it and he's like, this guy's casting a laser, this guy's a dog, this guy sees blue, oh, a kill! And he has no idea what's going on. That's what a lot of site executes look like on mine, because every single person is jumping all of their utility, and either the site's taken or the site's not taken. So definitely a different viewing experience than some of the other maps.
Hey,
but
if you're looking to watch some Valorant, Thursday,
Thursday, maybe we'll play Bind. It's not on our Instaban list. So.
maybe Super Electronic will get an ace.
Super Electronic, MTU Super Electronic with the 6K. That's what we will be seeing. Do not quote me on that.
I'm going to quote you on that.
On the stream, but
I'll be sure to tell whoever's casting that Super Electronic, watch out for the 6K.
Yeah, I think I was 5-23 on the last map we played, but that's not important. What is important is that we are getting now into the picks and bans. So it's going to immediately be the Yone ban from Northeastern Illinois.
And the Zed ban again. Imagine that. We just see the Rengar ban coming from MTU.
I believe again.
Yes, that is again. Well. Assuming these are on the correct side. We do see the Darius ban again. So I feel like I'm getting the sensation that maybe their jungler's a Rengar main. Because, wow, there's the Wukong ban again. Set ban. This is looking very familiar.
A little sense of deja vu as I watch these pick and bans come in here on the screens. So.
But at least we know these champion picks will be different.
That is true. Mordekaiser, please.
Mordekaiser, come on. Do it.
I know you want music, Cabs. I need that Mordekaiser.
But yeah, similar thing. We do see those 2 top bans, Set and Darius, and then we do see the Yone, Zed, Wukong for jungle ban. So you're
Yeah.
looking a little similar, but we do see the
Lysandra?
Lysandra pick on the side of Northeastern Illinois. Now, Lysandra definitely has a lot of catch potential. Her ultimate is that she has a point and click stun. So imagine that. She can go top. She normally goes mid. I'd expect her to go mid, but she just has a really great team fight presence where like she is able to just lock down one person. She has an ability where she can just kind of throw out a thing and then teleport to it if she wants to,
Yeah.
ignore it if she wants to. So she can get in, root everyone around her, do a bunch of AoE damage, stun someone, deal damage to everyone else around them. So I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. But we do see the Hui pick on the side of Michigan Tech. Now Hui is one of my favorite characters in the game, and if Aphelios is 200 years, this guy is 500 years because where Aphelios has 5 different Qs, Hui has 9 different basic abilities.
Ooh.
So his Q, W, and E each unlock a different set of Q, W, and E's. So he's got 3 different kind of AoE damaging abilities, 3 different supportive abilities, and 3 different CC abilities, and then his ultimate.
Yeah. Very simple, very easy to cast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know all the names, but I do know the combinations, so I got that going for me. We do see, but yeah, Hui does have he's an artillery mage, but he's also kind of a burst mage that has a really good team fighting ultimate. So he kind of does a lot, just never at the same time because whenever he uses one of his, if he uses one of his damaging abilities, like if he uses his long range artillery ability, he can't access his giant AOE damage over time effect or his basic like Q fireball explosion.
yeah. It's going to be Hecarim for the side of Northeastern Illinois, as well as Nami with Skarner and Nautilus for Michigan Tech.
Yes. So for the Skarner, he was recently reworked. I mean, League of Legends, his house used to be a map. It used to be a game mode called Dominion. So they destroyed his house. In the lore, they killed off all his family, and now they've officially killed off Skarner and reworked him entirely. So now he's from a completely different region. If you watched Arcane, those blue orbs were his family members, but now they are just something else. I guess we'll find out. But for Skarner, he's a tank, obviously. Well, not obviously. He's a giant scorpion. He has a lot of catch potential. He can grab up to like 3 people on the enemy team, pull them in. They like follow his movement. He has a lot of disruption. He can go through walls, like Kane can.
Yeah.
We do see Hecarim. Hecarim is a gank machine. He is very fast. He's a centaur, like a skeletal centaur. And he runs in, he CCs you, he does a bunch of damage, disrupts your whole team. Very annoying. For Nami, Nami is an enchantress. She has a lot of ways to speed up her allies. She can empower their auto attacks. She's got a really good, ultimate. It's a wave that goes forward, CCs enemies, but speeds up her allies. So I imagine we'll be seeing that quite a bit, teaming up with the Hecarim to knock them all up with Nami, and then Hecarim runs in there at the speed of sound, grabs them. We'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. We do see the Nautilus pick on the side of Michigan Tech. Now, Nautilus has a very big ultimate. He says he picks one person in particular and then sends a thing that'll run them down to the ends of the earth until it knocks them up, knocking up everyone along the way. So you just, he has a hook too. So he hooks in, pulls someone on the enemy team in, gets them closer to his team, and then sends a ultimate flying toward the back line of the enemy team. So hopefully we'll be seeing that. We also see the Aatrox. Aatrox he has a lot of healing. He's kind of a team fight monster where he has like sweet spots on his Q that'll do extra damage, give him extra healing, knock up the enemies. So if he's able to hit those, then he'll probably be sitting pretty.
Yeah, and then we have that Mordekaiser for Northeastern Illinois. This, unfortunate to see it, if I do have to say so myself, because I would have loved to see music tabs on the Mordekaiser. And I do believe this means that even if Michigan Tech loses this game, we can also not see them on the Mordekaiser at this point, if how Fearless works is in my head
If we
correctly.
lose this game, I believe MTU can pick Mordekaiser, but the
Just
enemy
not
team
Northeastern Illinois.
cannot.
Okay, good to know then. So
So I'm pretty sure we could still see a Mordekaiser if it goes to game 3. So maybe MTU will, maybe throw.
yeah.
I don't
I mean,
want.
I don't want to come out
I
and
don't
say I
want
want them to
them
lose,
to,
but I
but
kind of want to see his Mordekaiser, so it's
maybe
a hard
maybe we want to play
situation,
Mordekaiser.
if I'm
But
being honest. But
yeah, Mordekaiser does have his ultimate is he picks one person in particular and then traps them in a 1v1 arena with him. And his Q does more damage if it hits only one person. So,
just like ISO from Valorant.
those two work very well together. And
Yeah.
then we do see the Lucian on the side of Northeastern Illinois. That is going to be their ADC. Lucian is a extreme lane bully and also notorious for teaming up with Nami, because Nami will buff his auto attacks and then he will dash in there, do half your health, you're halfway dead, give him like 13 seconds, he'll come back in again, you're dead.
Yeah.
And then we do see Dr. Mundo, which will. Uh, I'm looking at Michigan Tech, and now I'm like, well, wait a minute. Okay, so that's probably a Huawei APC for the side of Michigan Tech. I'm pretty sure Crafey has been experimenting a bit with that. It is fairly standard.
Yeah.
Well, fairly standard. It's common. It's common. So that's probably going to be a Huawei APC with a Nautilus support on the side of MTU versus that Lucian Nami. We do see probably Dr. Mundo mid versus Lysandra. And then we'll be seeing Hecarim versus Skarner and Aatrox versus Mordekaiser.
How do you think that mid matchup's going to go, considering that Sunless was like the kind of, as we had said, it was our last game MVP? How's that mid lane matchup going to look for him?
Yeah, I'm still a bit like questioning because like I'm seeing that Dr. Mundo Aatrox and I'm like, wow, what are we doing? It could be a Skarner mid, but I'm pretty sure Riot kind of nerfed Skarner's lane potential into the ground. He's kind of only a jungler now, as far as I know. But assuming it's Dr. Mundo mid, Dr. Mundo is known for healing a lot. Dr. Mundo goes where he pleases, and wherever he goes, he is pleased.
Yeah.
So he has CC immunity that could really mess with Lyssandra's ability to kind of impact him in that mid game.
Yeah.
And it does look like we may be able to see who is in the mid lane here in just a second. Obviously, Sandra. Okay, yes, okay. It does look like we chose the wrong character. Someone locked in Yone
Yeah.
when we were supposed to be
I
locking
believe
in
I believe that was Sunless with the
Dr. Mundo.
accidental
So,
Yone pick.
oops, looks like they'll
So
be restarting
yeah, a little
the
bit unfortunate they're going to delay you guys getting in very slightly, but
queue. But it is a bit odd to see Dr. Mundo in the mid lane. He is normally top.
yeah.
Aatrox is normally top as well. But I guess we'll see. Dr. Mundo, he heals a lot. He has some CC immunity in his kit. His ultimate makes him heal a lot even more. And his Q does max health magic damage. So it's really good against tanky people like Mordekaiser, which is why I'm a bit surprised to see Dr. Mundo going in the mid lane against the mage. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that is going to end up in the mid lane here after we get these first couple of picks. So it's some desired on the Mordekaiser. Was that their top lane last game?
Some desired on the Mordekaiser. Yes, that was their top lane in the last game. He was playing Pantheon. He's apparently decided that he is going to switch it up and go for a bit more mid late-ish game. Mordekaiser kind of becoming a raid boss in that period. The Lucian Nami is scaring me a bit on the side of NIU versus our Hui Nautilus. Hopefully Nautilus can kind of try to keep them away, but Lucian is a really big lane bully. So I'm not feeling too good about that one, but I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yes.
In terms of bans, we did see that MTU banned Yunara Zeri, both ADCs. Yunara is a newer character, and she has really proven herself to be a very competent ADC. Zeri's a bit of an older one. I mean, older. She's like 2022, 2023. And her big gimmick is that she kind of plays like she's a smite character, where she has to aim her basic attacks.
Oh, so hopefully you don't have like shaky hands or anything while you're going.
Yeah, so every basic attack is a skill shot for her, and apparently MTU doesn't want to see it. I don't want to see it either, so I'm okay seeing that gone.
Yeah,
And we
so
do see that the Talia and Scion ban came out for Northeastern. Talia can go jungle or mid. I don't think I've seen that much jungle recently, so it could be a mid ban. As for that Scion, that's definitely a top ban. And MTU definitely had a lot of top laners left to pick, apparently.
yeah.
We may have been planning to go Scion. We may not have been. Scion's big thing is that he gets to infinitely infinitely stack maximum health when he kills things. And then when he dies, he like enters in an enraged form where he stays alive for a bit longer, gains lifesteal on hit, but also like continually draining health.
Yeah,
Um,
so you can only stay alive if you're continuously doing damage.
Yep, and the damage that he takes increases over time. So eventually you're gonna die. But
Yeah, like Evo Lumberjack from Clash Royale.
yeah, there are definitely there's definitely some people who run lethality Scion where you just like make his you almost get more value from being dead as Scion than you do from being
Just
alive.
hella
Where it's
damage.
like Scion is 0-7, but like he still has more gold than you. He's ulting into your Nexus turrets and breaking them. You kill him, he dies, comes back to life, and then does even more damage to them because he gains a whole bunch of attack speed.
Yeah, it's
So
like at some point we have to kill him. What if we kill him? Our turret's gonna go down. So
but he's
what is
gonna
the
kill your
better play
turret
to
anyway, so
make?
it's like you're really in a lose-lose situation there. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see why Northeastern Illinois would ban that. It does look like we are waiting on spectator delay, 2
Yep,
minutes 20
220 here.
seconds.
So not too long for the guys get you into the action. Hopefully our Huskies here can make it a clean 2-0, both for the sake of our program looking good and also for me resting my voice. But should be a good game coming in here. I think we did get a really good match out of the last one there. We got to see, Illinois, didn't get completely steamrolled at the beginning there. We saw some glimmers of hope out of them, and then we got to see our Huskies really, go from striking with the pads of their paws to striking with their claws, and really just driving each blow into Illinois there, making sure that they know that I know that our Huskies were down early on, but you are about to meet your maker, and it's going to be very quick.
Down,
So
but never out.
yeah, so hopefully another good game coming out for us here. Just about 90 seconds on this back to your lab. We'll be getting you guys into that match pretty quickly. Any last words you had before we jump right into the action?
Hard prediction, Lucian is going to buy a Blade of the Ruined King. Now, on the side of Michigan Tech, I do see Skarner, very tanky. I see Nautilus, very tanky. I see Aatrox, gets a lot of health, tanky through healing, as is Dr. Mundo. He builds tank and then also heals a lot. So I could definitely see this Lucian picking up a Blade of the Ruined King. Now, that is an item that does current health physical damage. So the more maximum health you have, the more damage it's going to do to you. And the more health you have at the moment, the more damage it will do.
Yeah.
It's also just like a really good item right now. So I could definitely see Lucian picking that up.
Yeah, we also actually have a Blade of the Ruined King in Valorant. It's a knife skin that costs $50.
And that probably comes from League of Legends.
Yes, Riot, I believe it was with their League of Legends. There was a crossover event
Yes,
many
in
years back where that was
2020.
added to the game. Riot, very generous with those prices there. Only $50.
Of course, as
knife
opposed to
skin.
their normal $100 set of gun skins or their $500 Ari skins.
Oh yes, the Faker Ari skin. Don't even get me started on that. That was Riot.
Maybe a little
They
bit
have a
on
lot
it,
of
but,
whales. They can get away with it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it is free to play. There's no competitive advantage, so it's like, if you want to support Faker, have a very nice skin, then that's definitely something you can do.
Yeah, Spectator delay taking down these last couple of seconds here. Just got to wait for that in-game client to load into the in-game match. So.
And speaking of nice things, if you're looking for a nice place to live, if you're a tech student who needs to be close to campus, we have places for that. Find the perfect location, live where you want to live, HoughtonForRent.com.
I know that I've actually been familiar with those services right now as I start to look for a apartment for my next year. We'll be a third year, so we'll be living off campus. We'll be no longer in a dorm that is falling apart, so thank you,
East Hall is a little, it's got personality.
Yeah, it's got charm. It's got its own unique flavor.
And I'm sure it'll really come into its own in years to come. But,
yeah, they seem to be identifying a lot of the issues right now, so not
But
too
MTU
bad.
doesn't need to wait years to come into its own. They're coming in strong right now.
All five.
In the bot lane. They're coming into that bot lane. We do see Lucian coming up. Nautilus is definitely going to go for a hook there. Hui just popping out early. We do see the Nautilus flash and then the Hui flash.
We saw that flash come out instantly, not wanting to get caught out there. They were worried about what Michigan Tech was cooking up there. So now we're going to be rotating off. Potentially, this is going to be Cran or 2.5. One thing, so it looks like that Dr. Mundo is in the top lane
Oh,
on music
yes. So
tabs.
it appears there's going to be an Aatrox in the mid lane. My
Is that
apologies.
more conventional or?
Both of them are pretty determined to be top laners. So this is definitely an interesting pick from MTU. Maybe they're trying something out, well, in this game too, where like they can afford to lose it.
Yeah, some of this maybe just
But
saying like, quoting Phoenix from Valor, just like, I got this.
I got this.
Because we did see his great performance last game, so just saying, guys, it doesn't really matter what agent you put me on, if I'm playing blindfolded or not. Like, I got you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, built
Sit
up
back, let me do my thing.
a few brownie points with the team. It was like, guys, hear me out. Hear me out on this one. Aatrox mid.
Yeah, we
And
have a thing in Val where it's called letting John play Reyna. So this is the letting John play Reyna of our Huskies League of Legends team. So
Reyna never recovered after those nerfs like 5 years ago.
it's not that she did. I mean, she's still like one of the most popular ranked agents. The issue is just that like I could join in spectator mode and type encouraging words to the team, and that would provide better team play value than whatever her kit has.
Yeah,
So
she is a bit of a 1v1 kind of character, huh?
yeah, a little bit of that. So back to our league game here. Not too much going on. A little bit of poking and prodding from the side of both. Just a reminder to you guys that Michigan Tech is now on that red team, so don't let yourself slip up and be rooting for blue here. So,
But
unless you are an Illinois spectator, I guess. Welcome to the stream if you are. Sorry, but I do have to say that I'm praying on your downfall.
But yeah, if you do need to check, you can see that MTU is currently the letters are printed out in the top right of the screen, right next to the red side. So you can check that there if you need to.
Yeah. Not too much happening in game here. Come on, Michigan Tech. Let's give
We
us
do see that Mordecai was able to pop Dr. Mundo's spell shield there in the top lane. This is pretty much expected for the mid lane, where you will see that the Lissandra is at much higher health than the Aatrox. As he's going ranged versus melee, he's bound to take a bit more poke damage, but where the Aatrox will really pop off is when they're able to go for a more determined trade or all in.
yeah, being able to get, really in there. So,
But unfortunately, Aatrox will suffer a bit in the neutral game.
yeah, I do believe in Sunless, though. I think that he's got this one in the bag. Please do not make me forget those words.
Yeah, we do see Nautilus threatening a hook here, really keeping the Nami Lucian back.
So is that hook that big ability that he cast at the start of the game? Or would that like drag them?
Yeah, where like it
towards
throws
him?
that big anchor out and will like pull them toward him. They'll both be pulled toward each other and then they'll like meet in the middle.
Yeah.
And then his auto attacks root, so he has a very classic, Q auto. It pulls you in and then roots you, so you're not allowed to move.
Yeah. So very strong ability, but it does need to be aimed. It seems like. So.
Yes, but he can keep throwing that out, and I mean, hey, you only got to hit it once.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to go
Then you
into
get a
that
pick.
big fight. So this is Lada. Oh, music tabs in the top lane. Not exactly
Taking a bit of damage,
healthy.
but he is Dr. Mundo, so he does heal quite a bit. We do see the Nautilus hook coming down on that Nami. Unfortunately, Nami was kind of caught on the wall there a bit, so wasn't really
Yeah, not able
pulled
to
into the
move off of
Nautilus.
that.
And we do see
Sunless
Aatrox
going in for a little bit of that
going
mid lane
in.
aggression here. Half HP onto R2 now, but going to be backing up as the mid laner for Illinois retreats towards that tower. So not wanting to let Michigan Tech extend themselves, make their presence known a little bit in the mid lane there. Both teams
Yes,
just
we do
opting
see that
to-
while Nugtard is up in the top side, we do see that Pluth is coming down for a gank on the Hecarim. Nautilus is rooting the Hecarim before he's able to get on top of that Hwei, but he's still going to hit his empowered auto attack on that
Craft, you
Hwei.
gotta get out of that. It's
We
gonna be
do
a son
see
of
the
Cran.
QE coming down from Hwei, so it's going to be a bit of sustained damage. And Hwei is able to pick up the first kill while Nautilus also dies. But Hwei did get first blood, which gets him a little bit more gold than the other team.
Yeah, Michigan Tech, they're just not having the movement speed ability, maybe not having the flash up there on the side of Kren, because if you notice on that bottom fight there, they had the ward up. They did spot the jungler for the side of Illinois coming down from that jungle abilities there. You can see just on the left of your screen there, you can see where that ward is. But not, and as soon as that was triggered, we saw them starting to head back up towards their tower, but potentially a little bit overextended or just not having the movement to be able to get there in time.
But if you saw in that mid lane, Lissandra was definitely a lot lower than Aatrox. You could definitely see that Lissandra unfortunately not unfortunately, but got caught in a few trades where Aatrox was able to hit a lot of his empowered abilities.
Yeah, so 1-1 now on the scoreline here.
Looking a lot better early on for Michigan Tech. I mean,
Yeah, not down by 3 at least.
yeah. So like I'm not sad to see MTU doing a bit
Looks like
better
we might
in
get
this
first
game
dragon too.
This does look like it's going to be first dragon. Hopefully they're able to pick up first tower too, and then it'll just be a clean sweep across the board for feats.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But
Okay.
yep, that is going to be the dragon pickup. Hecarim sitting inside of his top side jungle. Maybe going for something mid if Aatrox tries in.
Ooh, this is a flank from Nug here.
Oh, we do
Look at the
see
flank. No ward on the side of Illinois here to be able to lad
Garner
backing up.
misses
But
his engage onto
rooted
the
on
Lucian,
T-Pact
but
to
that is
care.
going to be a kill onto the Nami.
He falls
But
so
that is going to be
quickly.
all of this engage unless if Nautilus is able to hit a hook onto this Lucian. He definitely wants it, but it's probably on cooldown at the moment.
Yeah.
And now
Good
Hui is
damage,
also
but-
backing off, so MTU will be backing off there. We do see Hecarim sitting in the top side bush on Dr. Mundo's side, so maybe he'll try to go for a gank there, but we do see Aatrox getting a bit of damage onto the Lissandra mid.
Yeah, no ward there on that bottom lane, I think, is what allowed us to pick up that kill, because you saw Nug wrapping around, and while one of them was able to get out, I believe Lat was able to get out, Too Fat to Care was just stuck. So Michigan Tech, a little bit of an extension here, but now opting to back up as that respawn has come in for Too Fat to Care, so...
But you can definitely see Hui is definitely looking for one of his E abilities, which will stun to do some damage onto that Lucian. Hecarim is able to outrun the Aatrox W. Basically, there's an area, if he hits you with it, and if you're still inside that area after like a second and a half, you get pulled back into the center. And if you do get pulled back in, it makes it very easy for him to hit his abilities that have a sweet spot. So he really likes it when people are slow enough that they can't run away.
Yeah, it reminds me of an Astra pull from Valorant. Has a wind-up time, but then devastating if you do actually get caught in the middle of it.
Indeed. So we do see the Lucian. Sorry, not the Nautilus Q coming down on
Yeah.
Lucian, but that is going to be a bit of damage onto the Nautilus.
Yeah,
Hui
good
is
return
not
from
stopping
Lent.
his back to help.
Yeah, so a little bit of back and forth here in Michigan Tech. We do have we're about to hit a 1K gold lead if we can do something to, push us over that edge there.
You see that Hui brought teleport, so he's going to very quickly get back to lane to catch that wave that he would have lost. Mordekaiser heading over to maybe do something with Grubs. We do see Skarner and Aatrox are doing something in the topside river, although I can't see what. They're probably waiting for Void Grubs.
Yep, spawning in
Mordekaiser
now.
is going to be backing off there. Oh, nope. Mordekaiser is coming back in. He's definitely interested, although it looks like Crayon is in the area, so hopefully Nautilus will be able to zone off Lissandra. It does look like Mordekaiser is going to back off, and that TP is going to come down for Dr. Mundo.
Remind me of what the Void Grubs do again?
The Void Grubs will let you do a damage over time burn to towers, and if you get all 3 Void Grubs, like our M2 Huskies just did, that means that when you attack towers, you'll be able to spawn little goobers that run forward and die under turret for your minions.
And how long does that last for?
That is for the entire game. That is a permanent buff.
So pretty important then there to get on early like this.
Yeah, there used to be 2 rounds of Void Grubs, but apparently Riot Games decided that they were going to make it only 1 round.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much snowball effect if a team managed to get both of them online, I'm guessing.
Yeah, perhaps. We do see it's pretty neutral in the bot lane here. No advantage to either side. Hui was able to get a sneaky little, WE auto attack and then an EE onto this Lucian. And he is going to drop his ultimate onto Lucian.
Ooh.
The hook is going to come
yeah,
down from
good
Nautilus.
hook.
That
2
Nami ult
bars?
is going to come down. Just barely not enough.
Good heal
Hui is
there.
probably going to look for a little bit of long-range poke into that Lucian, but for now there is no kill. And Lucian, he's not standing far back enough. He is ulting the wave. Hui is throwing down his WE, and that is going his EW, and that is going to pick up the kill with his QW. Apologies.
Yeah, that's going to be the feat of warfare for Michigan Tech claim now.
Yeah, so he threw down a circle. If Lucian stayed inside of it, he would get rooted, and then Hui's QW is a long-range bolt, kind of like Kog'Maw ult, where if you are inside of it alone or CC'd, you take extra damage. So it functions like an execute on people who get caught out.
Yeah, this is us trying to go for the tower now. So potentially wanting to take this. No, it looks like they're going to be backing up now as the respawn's coming for Illinois. But
Yeah, it does look like Nugtark is getting caught out. He is
that the
going
flash
to
used?
flash over the wall. Hecarim is going to ult after him. He is trying to get away. We're going to see if Nugtart is going to... Oh,
No.
Hecarim is going to pick up the kill before
Nug
Nugtart is able to
looking a
use
little
his
bit
E to get
lost
away.
there.
Yeah.
Kind of just walking back and forth. So
Really got caught out. We just see a fight breaking out in the bottom side river here. Aatrox popped his ult, but it doesn't look like anything else is going to come of it. Hui does hit his QW.
Ooh.
You see Aatrox going in on the Lissandra, but Lissandra is going
Good
to get
root.
the root on to Aatrox, and that is going to be them getting away with that Skarner kill.
Yeah, so another kill picked up for the side of Illinois there. So Michigan Tech about a 1,500 gold lead. So a little bit further ahead than they were a couple minutes ago, but Nug donating a kill back the way of Illinois there. So not too far of a difference between these two.
Did you see the Nautilus ult coming down on the Hecarim on the underneath their mid-side turret? So that was a bit questionable.
What does that ult do?
That ult, it runs you down and then knocks you up. But normally you'd probably want to use that when he has a bit more potential to kill.
Yeah, not really low enough that you can risk diving the turret
Yeah, we
there.
do see Dr. Mundo's spell or CC shield getting broken there by Mordekaiser, which has probably been happening quite a bit while we were elsewhere on the map. It comes up on a this early in the game, a kind of long cooldown.
Good damage.
We just see the QQ coming down from Hui. It is a nice little fireball burst. He does throw down the EW. Do you see Lucian dashing in, ulting in? That is a Nami ult coming down as well. We do see Hui firing out his ultimate. That is going to create a giant area that slows him down. Lucian is able to pick up a kill onto Nautilus. Hui missed his QW, so was not able to get the kill on Lucian. They're coming for him. Nami is able to hit the bubble, but we do see Nugtart coming in. Craftinator is very low, and we do see Lucian flashes the Hui EQ. And we do see that Lucian is going to pay for getting so close as Nocturne picks up a kill. Aatrox is picking up a kill onto Hecarim. We do see all 5 members of the enemy team here in the bottom side. Sunless is getting dove by Mordekaiser under tower, but Nocturne is able to drag him back into the tower while he's trying to leave, securing the kill onto Mordekaiser.
Looks like Michigan Tech actually coming out with the advantage on that fight there. It went 3 for 3 on the side of both teams.
Yeah, we did
get respawn earlier.
We have that like 2K gold lead.
Yeah,
and we do see that
as well.
That dragon is up. If we end up taking this dragon, that means that we will gain feats because we will have 3 objectives and the first 3 kills.
Yeah, other possibilities for a feat there. That tier 1 turret in the mid lane on the side of Illinois is extremely low as well right now.
Indeed. Although it looks like it still has 4 tower platings left. It looks like the NIU bot side turret is at 1 tower plating left, so that would be the one.
I misspoke. I meant the bot side turret there.
Yes, but we do see MTU going onto that dragon, so taking first turret will be a nice side benefit. We do see the Nautilus warding over the wall and going for that control ward in the dragon pit. Dealing with enemy vision is the primary job of the support.
So Hextech Soul for the next couple of dragons. Is Hextech Soul the one where you are affected less by enemy CCs?
No, that would be the Chemtech Soul.
Okay.
For Hextech, sorry, there's a fight going on here in the bot side. It looks like it's basically over. Nautilus did drop his ult onto Lucian, but nothing is going to come of it. Dr. Mundo is going in on the Lissandra in the top side, but that's going to be pretty much all for that. So the Hextech Dragon, and sorry, Aatrox is going in on Mordekaiser here. It looks like he'll be running away after getting a bit of damage onto him. We do see Lucian ulting the wave in the bot side to try and clear it out. But apologies, Lucian is now dashing in on Craftinator. Craftinator is going to pick up a kill onto Lucian because Nautilus was able to hit the hook.
Yeah, that
is just going to be an unfortunate death for Lucian.
I don't know if he was just staying around for too long or what. Not expecting Cran rotating in from the top there. I'm a little bit confused on what the play was.
But if MTU would stop popping off hard enough for me to be able to talk about Dragon for a moment, the Hextech Dragon will grant a additional attack speed and ability haste. And then, now we see Hecarim going in on the Hui here in the bot side. Hui is getting out. We do see that the kill onto Nautilus is probably going to happen. I don't know why Nautilus is running at the Nami. Probably trying to give Nami the kill because Nami getting the kill would be a lot better than Hecarim getting the kill. But Too Fat, Too Care is going to let Pluth pick up that kill, which is going to be a lot more deadly on Hecarim than on Nami.
Yeah, Craftinator not really opting to go and support his support there. Not anywhere being healthy enough to be able to, be a contributing member to that team fight. Just not wanting to give up the extra kill on the side there. So I believe it was Michigan Tech. They've taken Chemtech Drake, and which Hextech Soul is going to be. So when you take a Chemtech Drake, you gain tenacity and heal and shield power. When you take an Infernal Drake, like they have already done, you gain attack, damage, and ability power. And if they start taking these Hextech Drakes, they will gain attack speed and ability haste. We do see a bit of damage coming down to this Nautilus as he's trying to clear control board. He misses his Q because if you Q a wall as Nautilus, you're able to pull yourself to it like a hook shot. But
does miss, but manages to make it out. If we see MTU taking, sorry, Dr. Mundo is getting dove by Hecarim in the bot side here. It just never stops.
Spell immunity.
But Dr. Mundo is able to just go where he please, and he is just going to walk away from Hecarim.
Yeah, you can see that heal. He's not really any different than he was before that fight started, and the members of Illinois both down to half HP off that. Also, we're going to be grabbing Rift
Hui
Herald
is going to
here.
pick up a dirty little combo on that Lucian. It's going to miss the QW. You can see that it's a bit hard to land it when you don't have any catch associated with it.
Yeah.
Dr. Mundo is kind of trying to just walk with that. Lysandra is going to make it out. So, Hextech Dragon. Sorry, Nami is attacking the Nautilus here in the mid lane, but it does look like they may be able to take that turret,
Yeah,
even
Nami's not able
underneath
to
the
do
protective care of
anything right
Nami.
now.
Nami should worry about getting out of here before she's able to be dove under that turret. But you see
Flash
Nami
use.
flash coming out because she didn't leave soon enough.
Yeah, so a little bit of a misplay there, being forced to expend that ability.
We do see Skarner versus Hecarim here. We do see our bot side and our mid laner coming in. We do see Mordekaiser and Hecarim are running away while our Nautilus is
Pran
being
flashing
dove by
out.
the Lucian. Lucian
Oh,
was able
Lucian
to pick up
ult.
the kill onto Nautilus. We just see Hecarim going back in, ulting, getting a massive three-man
Nami
team
ult coming out.
fear. We just see Cravinator picking up the kill on
Cravinator's
Hecarim. And MTU is looking fairly healthy except for this Skarner who is getting dove by the Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Mordekaiser's on the run, but Hui is melting him. Craftinator getting a kill onto the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, wow, great casting there. That was a lot of stuff happening on my screen. A lot of...
That did come down the side of MTU.
Yeah.
And very much heavily on Hui. If we could get a scoreboard pulled up, then we'd probably see that is a number of kills on the Hui. I'm pretty sure he picked up like 2 kills there. So, and we just see Sunless picking up a kill on the Lucian, is not able to survive
not
the
able to
tower
get out.
damage. His healing on his auto attack was not enough to save him. So Lucian picking up another kill, putting him at 4-4 to our 5-1 Hui.
Yeah, Hui on 5-1, is that popular? Like, typical of somebody playing Hui? Because I do notice that Tran is 0-4 right now, but she is support, so...
Yeah, so, I mean, it just shows Craftinator is playing extremely well to have a 5-1, which is what you'd hope. We've seen him play, and we just see the Hui EW into QW. That is a very classic Hui combo. Yeah, he is playing Hui at a very high level here, and he is able to pick up his second item.
Yeah, a little bit of poking and prodding going on here in the top lane. Not too much for either team. Michigan Tech, we do have a now 6K, slightly over 6K gold lead.
Yeah, and MTU is taking the Hextech Dragon. If they take it, they will gain attack speed and ability haste, and Aatrox is going in 1v4 against the enemy team.
Nami ult.
Sunless getting a huge amount of healing, but it is not going to be enough to save him unless if he is able to. He is still healing.
How is he alive?
Sunless off for dead, but the Aatrox healing coming through. I guess NIU has not picked up any heal cut, and Hui is going to get a double kill.
Tran getting her first kill of the game onto Pluth there, and Sunless just... So he must have heard us all the way up here in the casting booth last game when we talked about him being the MVP, and he says that nobody is stealing my MVP from me this game as well. That was just a god among men. He's in creative mode. The rest of them are in survival because he's just unable to get killed.
Oh my. So, Hextech Dragon, before something else big happens, like MTU going into their base.
What is
Skarner is
doing?
going in,
Just here, that's
misses
the
his ultimate
Rift
on the
Baron.
Lucian. What are they doing?
have to kill that
MTU
inhibitor?
just going in. Nautilus is there and is able to ward off that Hecarim. But Hui getting caught out here potentially misses his EQ, and that is going to be a
3v1
kill onto
onto
Hui
Hui.
coming down from
This is
Hecarim.
Pluth now going
Some
onto
unfortunate
Nautilus.
passing on Hui's part, but it looks like everyone else is going to get away okay, unless if Hecarim is going back in. Nope, it appears that he's going to back off with that.
Yeah,
We do see that Dr. Mundo is currently taking their topside tower while they were all messing around in the bot side.
So, Hextech Soul.
Yes, sorry, Hextech Soul. If they manage to take it on auto attacks periodically, they'll get a chain lightning effect that'll deal some damage and slow. So it could probably help with their catch potential, especially with Nautilus, throwing his hook in, getting in close to the enemy team, and then getting that chain lightning auto attack that slows them down.
Good to know. Only took us 10 minutes to explain that,
Yeah.
which is a good thing because it means that the Huskies are giving you guys a good showing today. Definitely a lot of action going on. As
Yeah, we do see Hui is picking up our side blue buff. which Hui does like having a blue buff. We see MTU is kind of setting up for the Otacon here, so
Yeah.
hopefully they'll be able to take that.
Team fight
Yeah,
potentially.
we do
Wards on
see
top of each
5
other.
people, all 10 players in this small congested area, so I guess we'll have to see. NIU really moving in.
Yeah, yeah, Michigan Tech
We do
stopping to
see a
play together.
small
Dive
little
on
pick
Sunless
coming
honestly
down
was
on
better.
Mordekaiser. Hopefully Mordekaiser is still at half health. He's going down though. That is nearly
Oh.
going to be a kill. Music Tab is able to pick up a kill onto the Lissandra, while Sunless picks up the kill onto Mordekaiser. No one has dropped on MTU so far, and NIU just kind of went out with like a little bit of a whimper there. As they just kind of weren't able to pick up any kills, while MTU was able to grab 2 kills onto their Lissandra and Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Michigan Tech showing that there is some bite to the bark that they were showing off there. All 5 of them gearing up. I was a little bit worried about how that team fight was going to go, but that's going to be Red Team picking up that third bound at again. So
Yeah, unfortunately, the enemy Mordekaiser, well, fortunately, the enemy Mordekaiser didn't have his ultimate, or else that would have gone completely differently.
yeah, being
Mordekaiser's
able to
ultimate
ISO
lets him
somebody.
steal an enemy's stats and then 1v1 them. So what we probably would have seen happen is Mordekaiser ult the Hui, which Mordekaiser should win that, especially with 10 or 15% of Hui's stats. And then he comes in with 10 or 15% of Hui's stats into the rest of our team. Hui has a lot of AP. Mordekaiser likes having AP. That could have gone very poorly for MTU, but luckily none of that occurred. So, you know. Hui is running away from the Hecarim as Hecarim is going to dash onto him. Skarner is still a bit too far away. Hui drops his ult onto the Hecarim. Hecarim is going to ult back in and pick up the kill on Hui, again getting picked out again inside of the blue side jungle. We do see it as a 2v3 here. Skarner taking a lot of damage. Sunless going
yeah.
down to the Lucian.
Aatrox unable to
We
do
do
anything
see
there.
Skarner going down to the Hecarim. Nautilus coming in for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Lucian's got to pick up that kill as well. And suddenly it is 14-17. Although that gold lead is still almost 8K for the side of MTU.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned with what Cran's game plan was there, because it felt like she was supposed to rotate in for support so that we weren't taking that 2v3, but she was too late. And as I say that, that's going to be
Lissandra
Dr. Mundo
coming down
shut
onto
down by
Mundo,
Lissandra.
and that
That's
is going to be a
ace.
kill on
All
Lucian.
5 members of Michigan Tech going to be going down.
What I'm seeing right now, Craftinator needs to just check his positioning, stay near his support, and stop getting caught out by this Hecarim, because that's really what's causing MTU to really lose these fights, is missing out on Craftinator.
Yeah, not being able to have that, because we were praising that Hui at earlier on in the game with just that dominant presence. But I think Illinois kind of figured out that maybe being like 5-1 as we had talked about early on, maybe getting to that mental a little bit, being a little bit more overconfident when it comes to engaging in these different types of fights. And they've kind of picked up on that and saying, oh, we can bait him into a 1v1.
I mean, see Sharks going in on the Nami, but this is quickly turned into a 2v3 for Crayon and Sunless.
2v4.
We do see a TP coming in from Dr. Mundo, and we see that Mordekaiser has arrived via teleporter that comes from the hex tab on the map. We just see the EWQW coming down from Hui onto the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is about half HP. Hecarim is coming in, sweeping for wards, maybe trying to look for something. We just see MTU going down onto this Hextech Dragon. If they secure it, this will be the soul. They're zoning Hecarim off of that dragon.
Yeah.
The Hui ult coming down onto Hecarim. Hecarim getting bursted down by it, and that is going to be Hecarim dying to Craftinator. We did see that Mordekaiser was trying to land his EQ onto Craftinator, but was not able to get it. And while Mordekaiser is able to pick up the kill onto Nautilus, Music Tabs is able to get the revenge kill onto Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Music Tabs, just that Dr. Mundo pick on the top lane here, showing a lot of value. We've seen a lot of that earlier game with him being able to survive because of that heals, but even here, look, he's already back at full HP, moving with Craftinator and Nug into the base of Illinois. Wouldn't be able to do that on a lot of other agents, or a lot of other champions. So that's going to be the tier 3 turret in the mid lane destroyed there for the side of Michigan Tech.
Yeah, Lissandra running away from the 3 people mid. Looks like Hui is trying to get in a neat little kill there on Lucian, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out at the moment. Although we do see that W come out from Aatrox. He is able to get a nice little hit onto the Lissandra, but it's not going to do much. Aatrox dashing over the wall to get away. We do see Hui is in some pretty good positioning to stay away from this Hecarim, and yeah, it doesn't. We do see the QQEE Quay combo come down onto that Hecarim, and it is going to do a very big amount of damage due to Hui's passive.
Yeah, that's going to be Baron spawning in. Michigan Tech potentially with the opportunity here to go and just farm that Baron up, because a lot of the members in Illinois were very low. I believe that was Lat especially was pretty low in the base, now healing, but had to retreat all the way
Nautilus
back
just
to the
barely not
spawn.
hitting that hook onto the Nami. It looks like we may have a fight here. Mordekaiser getting hit by that Aatrox W and the Q, but not a sweet spot. Looks like Hecarim is going in. Hecarim, you should not be going in at this moment. You need to stay alive if you're going to be able to steal that
Yeah,
Baron.
double kill for
But
Hui.
it doesn't look like it's going to work out. Nugtar is able to pick up the kill onto Hecarim, and we do see that MTU is going to get a full sweep.
Ace! That is beautiful coming out from Michigan Tech there. Illinois is just feeling like they needed to grasp, and I don't know what opportunity that they thought that they had to go on under that team fight there, but there was nothing online that was going to let them pick that up, and this is just Michigan Tech. They're going to walk into the base of Illinois and sit them down. The dog is putting somebody else down. Like, I don't even understand what the thought process was there for Illinois. Maybe feeling like if Michigan Tech got that Baron buff online, there would be no possibility in the future for them to be able to take some sort of team fight.
I think Hecarim was just trying to take that Hui out just immediately at the start of the fight, just take him out of the equation, but it didn't end up working out. MTU was able to keep the Hui alive.
Yeah, just too overconfident on the side of Illinois, or too scared. One of the two, feeling like they had to make an option, go in for something, but that is just going to be a pretty quick game, all things. Quicker than the first game, only 26 minutes, 9 seconds there for you guys. So, let's go Huskies. Managed to take it in a clean 2-0. We thought that we would, and it was even with the Mordekaiser on the other team. Not that Music Tabs needed that Mordekaiser pick in the end to have a dominant performance. That Dr. Mundo showing a lot of that value later on. Who do you think about the MVP, though?
I think it was Hui. It was definitely Craftinator. Yeah, if I had to choose an MVP, I would definitely say it was Craftinator on the Hui. He needed to watch his positioning there a bit, like 5-10-ish minutes before the end. But once he did start doing that, you could see MTU started winning those fights very decisively.
Yeah, playing a little bit more around the Nautilus there. Nautilus getting picked out a couple times, but Hui just being able to stay alive was just cleaning people up, especially in that last fight. Like, you saw Illinois, how much they prioritized diving after that Hui. And it just didn't go well for them. They understood the danger that Michigan Tech posed, but also succumbed to it. So, pretty good overall there. I don't know if we're going to be getting a player interview today.
We likely are, but before we get into that, we are going to get into what is upcoming for MTU Esports. Now, coming up tomorrow, we have our Rocket League versus the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. On Wednesday, we have Overwatch 2 versus the Technical College of New Jersey. And on Thursday, we have Valorant versus Butler University. So be sure to check out those. And if you missed our stream, if you were late today, or you want to check out any past VODs, you can find us on YouTube at MTU Esports.
Yeah, Butler University. I actually think I might know some of the guys on Butler University.
Really?
I queued with one of them in a ranked game about a year ago, and I think I'm in their university's Valorant server.
How'd they do?
Like, how are they? If we start getting ahead, I think they'll fall apart.
Okay.
But I mean, they're good players. A lot of respect to them as competitors. But I've been in some calls with them while they're playing ranked games.
And the mental gets a little.
The mental can get a little bit fuzzy. But obviously, if they're going to be locked in a coordinated competitive environment, it should be a good game for us. So a lot of respect to them, though. It was fun playing with them. So it should be a good match for you guys. Like I said, hopefully we can at least get our first map. Going to be shaking up our comps a lot. So keep in mind that that's going to be happening if you guys want to tune in on Thursday. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, so be sure to check that out. But in the meantime, we are going to go to a brief intermission before a player interview. So be sure to stick around.
Okay, with me on the cast right now, I have Sunless, our resident mid laner. So, welcome. Thank you for showing up for the player interview. Thank you for giving us your thoughts on how the game went today. I'd like to just start off by asking you guys what like your mental process was preparing for today's game, how you guys felt it was going to go, and what your feelings were heading into today's match.
So yeah, we weren't too concerned. Like they did take a game off Ohio State, even though we didn't, but we weren't too concerned. Like the rank difference in the mid lane was pretty significant, and rank gap in the bot lane was also significant.
Yeah, I definitely felt that presence a little bit there. You were kind of cooking the mid laner in a lot of stuff, especially with the bottom lane too there, Craftinator and Cran both making a good showing for Michigan Tech there. So you were our map one or game one most valuable player, I will say. So I wanted to get your thoughts on what you guys were thinking with the Avir pick, especially given the recent balance changes that we talked about on the cast earlier.
So the recent Azir changes, they only really nerfed his early game, and I'm picking. We knew they were gonna pick Anivia. The guys at Anivia one trick, so I knew he was gonna be able to bully me out of lane, and I could just do whatever I wanted. So
Yeah.
the Azir pick, they nerfed his early game, buffed his late game, so it's just a strong pick, and they couldn't answer it.
Yeah, because you guys knew about that late game, were you guys concerned at all in the beginning when you went down by a couple kills, a little bit down by gold, or did you guys just know that like you were just like, just wait, like you're gonna be regretting
No,
laughing?
we weren't too concerned. Like it is kind of problematic when we're dying on Siverel, but all in all, I roamed bot, got a bunch of kills, and then carried the game.
Yeah. And then my last question for you is that second game we saw both the Aatrox pick as well as the Dr. Mundo pick coming out. I'm not very well versed in League of Legends, but how it was explained to me is that those are both pretty popular top laners. We were confused on who's going to be playing top, who's going to be playing mid. What was your guys' thought process behind those picks?
So like last year, I played a ton of Aatrox mid mostly. I just played a bunch of AD mids. Only really started picking up mages this year, but I used to main Aatrox in top lane, and then I switched to mid lane, and I still played Aatrox mid. And lower ranked players can't really deal with Aatrox mid. They just don't know the pressure, they don't know the kill threats, and they can't space.
Yeah, definitely saw a lot of that coming in there. We saw you get like poked down a little bit and then just going for some melee attacks, and it's like, oh, their mid lane's dead. So before we conclude, then, are there any other comments that you wanted to make? Anything you wanted to say to the broadcast?
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us here on the broadcast. So, as we're closing up for the night, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to remind you that to stay up to date with everything Husky Esports, make sure to follow our Twitch, make sure to follow our YouTube, drop a comment, let us know who your favorite player was in the games today. Make sure to leave a like, and thank you for joining in. I've been Aiden, Ben was casting with me, and thank you guys for watching.